Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Power Half Hour Unstoppable Business Owner. I'm your host, Dorothy Odell, for this evening. Tonight, I have the distinct pleasure of having an amazing author on our show tonight. And he is the author of this book, The Great Flood of Bovine Land. Sorry. And this guy is absolutely incredible. Owen Sharp is a 21-year-old artist who creates life-size mannequins as a hobby. He's also an author who has been writing a series of books filled with adventures for his Bovine Land character since 2012. Diagnosed with autism at the age of 3, Owen has always taken on every challenge he's ever been faced with and has thrived with the continued support of his loving family, friends, and his authoring mentor. He resides at home with his family and his cats, whom he cares for deeply. In addition to his art, Owen likes to go to thrift stores to shop for art supplies, which mainly consist of used clothing for his mannequins. His future's endeavor includes writing additional books based on his Bovine Land characters and their adventures. He looks forward to producing a series of books that he believes children around the world will come to enjoy and love as much as he does. So with that, I have the distinct pleasure of bringing Owen to the show. Welcome to the show, Owen.
Hello. Thank
How
you
are
for
you
having
today?
me.
Absolutely. I'm
I am
really
very
honored to
great.
have you here.
Thank you
So,
very much. Well, it's a pleasure to be on this show, and I am very forever grateful to be on here today.
well, we love having you. And, this is the first time I've actually had a children's author on their show. So, and to my understanding, this is the first time you've ever been interviewed. So I'm deeply honored tonight. So thank you so much. And, what made you decide to write this book?
So, when I started drawing my pictures in Bovine Land back in high school, it was originally supposed to be an art series, but when I was working with a guy in my last year of high school, I realized that I could turn this Bovine Land art drawings into a book. And and I thought to myself, why not turn my own original characters, this being Bovine Land, into a very, very great children's book series that everyone will come to love and enjoy, hopefully, but not just that, but definitely for many generations to come. So that's what I decided to do. I started writing my first book back in 2021, and it was really, really helpful.
I love that. I love that. And it is so colorful. And I'm just going to put the cover up one more time here because it is coming November 1st. People can get their copy November 1st.
Yes.
But I love the illustrations. And so that is something you just thought of. Like out of the blue, you just thought of
Yeah,
this and you created this. That is such an
correct.
inspiration.
Because it really is. Like I love putting a smile on people's faces every day with my art. Like the way I draw is just unique as everybody else's. I learned that to develop this skill back in grade 8. So and believe it or not, I still have my first drawing. I'm not of a character of a random of a custom of a character from from grade 8 still with me to this day.
Wow.
I don't know where it is, but it's a really interesting character.
And so you just thought of this one day. It just came to you out of the blue.
Yeah,
The
well, it
characters.
all started with so the Bovine Land series all started with a stuffed animal cow that I got for Christmas back in 2012.
Oh, wow.
I named it Ludwig because I wanted to name, because I thought it was a really royal, majestic sounding name for a stuffed cow, and also because there's not that many. I just wanted to have him. It's also because realistically, yes, there's been, and because I'm also an avid history fan as well, I thought, why not just name this cow, this beautiful stuffed animal, a name that's so royal, so regal and formal that I can cherish that name and always remember it for many years to come. But the real but that's the cow that stuffed animal inspired me to draw more characters in the Bovine Land series.
I love
And that's
that.
what inspired me to write this book.
So when you're done, how many books do you think will be in your series?
Oh my. So I've written 5 books so far, but there's more coming on the way.
Wow.
And so stay tuned for more books because I wanted to make this a series.
Right, right. And what do you hope to inspire with your book?
I want to inspire young readers that no matter like I want to teach like perseverance, but more than just that, I want to teach them that even someone with a disability like what I have can be so successful and do a lot of kind stuff for the community. You know, I've I wanted, and you can and even if you don't have a disability, like you can still be kind. You're just be unique. Just be who you want to be. You know.
I love that. You know, so many adults even get stuck with that where, you know, they don't know um, who they want to be. They decide that, you know, somebody said something to them when they were younger or whatever, and it affected them. And here you are, a young artist yourself, you know, not letting your disability stop you. I love that. Oh, and you are truly an inspiration because I know a lot of adults that wouldn't even get off the couch to even write a book, let alone here you are. You've wrote your first book. You've got 5 more in the can, plus more. You know, you're making those beautiful statues behind you. You know, you're such an inspiration to so many people.
Thank you very much for the compliment. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so would you say that having your family behind you has definitely helped you as well getting the book out?
Because if they didn't have helped me, I don't know where I would be. You know,
Mhm.
I've always wanted to be successful. I didn't want to be like an outcast or anything. I wanted to be set up for success here. And I do admit this myself, saying I know I just can't sit around all day and do nothing. No, that's not me. I want
Right,
to be helpful to other people.
right. I love that, Owen. Like seriously, because I know so many adults that don't people that are older than you that don't can't even see that. So good for you for, you know, taking the initiative and keep on stretching yourself, and because that's truly what it's all about. In order to be successful, and people define success in different ways. You know, some people define success in money. Some people um, define success in family and relationships. But that it's truly inspiration what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And what do you hope that the children that read your book will get out of it?
So, what I hope for these children to get out of the to learn from this book is that this anything is possible in Bovine Land. Like anything really. Like this is a child's imagination I've been describing. What I've just described to you is just the smaller part of it. Like Bovine Land is a whimsical place where anything a child can imagine is that's impossible can happen. So who knows? There could be we like in one of my books. There's a magical pet snail, and whenever they feed it a strawberry, whenever in the book, the Bovine Land children feed it a strawberry and it grows. That would not happen in real life, but even though this book series is supposed to be historically accurate, I do want to add some fantasy into it so that I can appease the younger audiences. And that's what I love doing because I don't really need to be like historically accurate. I just want to make everybody happy, you know.
Right.
This is what I love doing.
Awesome. And what age group is this the first book for?
So the age group that I arranged for this is around 3 to 6 years old.
Okay. Perfect.
So there's going to be a lot of young readers reading this book. So, and that's really going to help my day because, as you know, when I was their age, I loved reading books. I still do to this day, but I just like now that but with these skills that I've developed, I want to give back. I just want to help these young children learn that even like it, like Bovine Land's got like there's a theme in each one of my books. So yes, I would love to teach children about the certain characters and how everything works in this book.
Right. I love that. And I know at the end of, well, at least at the end of the first book, you have wrote some talking points that, adults, the parents can have with their children. And I think that is so important because you don't want to just leave the child, right. And it's something that they'll have forever. And that was really that brilliant of you to do as well.
Yes, because I love having those discussion questions in every one of my books because this book is supposed to be educational as well as fun. Like I don't want to have just the fun in it, but at the same time I want to have the young reader learn that he or she or they would want to read this book while discussing their questions at the same time related to this book. I want to make it fun. I don't want to have to force this upon them. Like this is why I add the discussion questions so that the parents could talk to them and tell them and ask what, like for example, in the first book, if you ever like for example, in one I'm taking like good sportsmanship, for example, like if you ever played not if you ever played a sport, but because I know that there's not that many people that play sports out there, but it's just sometimes they relate, like if you ever played a game or something,
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, and I also think it's important that oh, go ahead.
So
Sorry.
I always think that so I always look at the child's perspective first when I write this book. Like I need to, like I write the questions that the child, both child and parent, can understand, and that's what I love about this.
Right. And it's a great way for adults to also interact more with their children, right? Because like you said, there's nothing better than a great book. So the child and the parent reading it together and then having those discussions, I love that. And you said that you love to read. What are some of your favorite books?
So some of my favorite books are mainly music themed books, but also I will sometimes read books about ancient history and medieval history and stuff, but just currently, those are the only books that I have ever read. And let me tell you, my music knowledge on a totally my knowledge on those books is just as good as any any other thing, really. Like I have an amazing memory when it comes to memorize, like just having to read this thing and remember all this stuff. It's just phenomenal.
Right. Absolutely. And so what other things do you like to do in your spare time? What other hobbies do you have?
So what I do in my spare time is I usually make these mannequins. I dress them up and I make characters. So for example, 1 minute they could be a rock band, but then the next minute I change them up and they could be like the medieval times or etc. Vice versa, because I always have really great ideas. And I also do make props as well, like guitars, custom made guitars. Like they're not supposed to be playable, but they're just props. I made a lot of musical instrument props before, and they look really phenomenal. If I ever had one to show you, you would be impressed by how hard I worked on that thing.
Right. In our pre-interview, I know your mom showed me some pictures of your mannequins that you did, and I think they were pretty cool. They just looked so lifelike. And so they were pretty cool. I love that. You definitely have the imagination, and the
Oh,
fact that you can tell because it's not only in your books but in your characters that you made behind you and your mannequins that you have. So definitely, you're very creative.
thank you very much for the compliment.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, when do you think? So this book's coming out November 1st, where all books are sold, right? So that's Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I believe pretty much everywhere books are sold, your book will be there, right?
Correct, because I want to, like, I've actually have high hopes on these books. So, and let me tell you, they're really positive high hopes, and I really enjoy that. I would love to hear from the reviews. I'd love to hear from everybody about how they loved my book and how they'll come to treasure this book that I've written with all my heart and illustrate with all my heart and soul for many years to come. That's what I want. That's what I love hearing, or I would love to hear. Yes.
Awesome. If you're just tuning in now, we are here with Owen Sharp, the author of The Great Flood of Bovine Land. Sorry, I don't know why I'm tripping up over that. It is coming out November 1st. It is an amazing book for ages 3 to 6. And Owen has done an amazing job. He has illustrated and he actually did all the illustrations and, wrote the book and has done such an amazing job with getting this out there. And this is the first series of 5 that he has written. Our first book of 5 in the series that he's written. And so if you know of anybody who, I know one of the things that we had talked about off air is that you definitely want to be able to go to libraries or schools and read to the kids, read your story to the children. And, so if you have anybody that has connections in schools, definitely contact us so that we can get you in contact with Owen and his family, and that way we can get him into your schools, because I know this is a great way, or if you have a library near you or a chapters that accepts authors to come in and read their books, we would definitely love to hear from you. Because I know that that's one of the passions that you have too, Owen, is getting in front of kids to be able to share your story and read your story to them, correct?
Yes, and I would love to tell them about how Bovine Land can be as imaginative as anything else.
Right. I love that. And just goes to prove that anybody with an imagination and a drive can do everything. And every time I speak with Owen, his story is like, just be kind. There's a lot of stuff going out in this world right now, and I love that message. If anything, just to be kind to people, because that definitely shines through everything that you do.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And for anybody that's listening right there, right now, that, maybe having some struggles and going through some struggles and not sure, maybe they had a dream or a hope to write a book, what would you say to somebody that, has not taken that step to do that? What would you say to that person?
Just do what you want to do. This is your idea. If you want to draw your own way, or if you want to do any other art style, just do it. You don't give up. Keep on trying. I really want you to succeed.
I love that. And, and Owen, it just proves that no matter what you're going through, if you just put yourself out there, you can accomplish anything. Because here he is, 21 years old, has a book series ready to go. He's got his first book launching November 1st with 5 5 more coming. So, and it doesn't matter what you're going through, just if you think you're having a bad moment, just think of Owen, because I'm like, just that smile that's on his face. He just wants to help other people. So be like Owen. That should be our slogan. Be like Owen. Just do it.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Owen. It's been a pleasure to have you on here. Is there any last words that you would like to say to our audience today?
Well, there is. And stay tuned for more books, because let me tell you, those 5 books are just the beginning of the best series in the whole world. So stay tuned, everybody.
I love that. Again, get your copy November 1st, The Great Flood of Bovine Land. And and I can't wait to see the next 5 books that come out, Owen. Like I said, it's been a true pleasure getting to know you. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. And with that, guys, be unstoppable for all that you do and everything that you do. And we'll see you same time, same channel next week. Bye for now.